Now, MSNBC recently spoke to a group of truck drivers who say that President Trump has not kept his campaign promises. Wow, shocker. I think we've all realized that by now. Now, they're specifically going after Trump, of course, for some of the economic changes, because he had recently claimed that his economy was, quote, the best ever. I mean, this economy is the greatest economy that has ever existed. It has been tremendous. Now, those of us living in the real world that are suffering through stagnant wages and job losses, look at that and we kind of scratch our heads and go, wait a minute. That would appear to be false. That would appear to be a lie. It appears the economy is not that great. It's great for people on Wall Street, Fortune 500 CEO, or Fortune 500 company CEOs are actually doing incredibly well. Stock buybacks have exceeded all expectations. And so if you're a wealthy person in Trump's America, you're doing fantastic. If you're a trucker, not so much. So now we go to a video here with MSNBC's Morgan Radford, who spoke to a group of truckers who said, you know what? No, turns out the economy is not so good. And some of those truckers were Trump voters who said that they were not expected to vote for the president again. Now, I want to go to this video of Morgan Radford. She does a pretty good job breaking down why these truckers will not vote for Trump. But I also want to show you the reactions here. So check this out.
Do you feel like this administration is listening to you as truckers?
No, ma'am.
No, they're not listening, not at all.
A mix of Republicans, Democrats, and independents.
How many of you voted for the president in the last election? 1, 2, 3.
Many of their complaints are unique to trucking, like parking costs and a lack of training for new drivers.
You'll receive.
But they say some of their issues affect all Americans, like the Republican-led tax bill.
How many of you, by a show of hands, saw your taxes increase this year?
Oh, they all went up, yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah, this year they went up.
1, 2.
Yeah.
All of you? So most of you saw your taxes increase.
The reason? Something called a per diem. In the past, truckers could deduct things like food and daily expenses from their taxable income. Now, with Trump's new tax bill, they no longer can.
I have a young family at home, and with our per diem, they took the per diem out. That made an $8,000 difference.
$8,000?
What I personally paid.
So what were you paying in taxes last year?
Nothing.
A hit that comes especially hard after promises made by the president.
America first means putting American truckers first.
You said you also believe the president would help truckers. Do you think he's doing a good job now?
No, I don't. I mean, there's nothing that he's doing to help us out here in any way possible. I mean, none.
Mr. Trump ran on the platform of doing away with the Obama bad regulation. Well, he quite well done that for, I'm going to say corporate America, but us blue-collar America, we've got regulations that we had when Obama was in office. And I would like to ask him, why didn't he do away with the bad regulations for us, the independent owner-operator?
You know, I have an answer for him. It's because Donald Trump had lied. He lied to you. He's got no idea what he's doing, other than, of course, trying to stuff his pockets full of your money. That's what Donald Trump does. Now, the things that he got in the tax bill, Donald Trump personally benefits from that. I mean, you won't unless you are a multinational corporation or a large CEO. If you're a trucker or the owner of a small business, it is very likely that you got almost no help, if any, at all. Because, by the way, you're not the focus of this. The focus of these tax cuts, as is most of Trump's policies, are aimed at helping the rich or himself. As for regulations, look, I'm actually going to break with slightly established progressive orthodoxy. I'm going to point out how not every regulation is good. Now, regulations are rules, right? And there's a lot of good rules. There's a lot of good regulations, and there are a lot of regulations that even mean well, but might not work right. And then there are also a problem with redundant regulations, things that are just stacked on top of each other. So, again, not every regulation is a good regulation, but I think most are needed because we do need rules. We need ground rules, and we need those that actually protect regular people, protect workers, etc., right? Now, there are some rules that are put in there by big business through their corporate lobbying to stifle their competition. That's an example of some of the bad rules. And those make it harder for the little guy to operate and become a big business and become successful. All of that goes to help big corporations. And then, of course, you also get into overregulation. That's meant to shut down certain things. For example, Republicans, champions of supposed eliminating regulations, are actually using overregulation to try to kill Planned Parenthood and try to end abortion rights. They've been doing it all over the different states, using these overregulations, government, big government coming in and overregulating and using the power of big government to destroy abortion rights, to, close down these clinics and make people in these states unable to access abortion services, and not even abortion services, by the way. There are a lot of, Planned Parenthood clinics that don't actually do abortion that still get shut down, even though all they do is cancer screenings and provide, contraception coverage, and do all these positive things for the community for, poor women or low-income women and men in the community, and they still get shut down because of the overregulation. It's insane. Now, not all regulations, as I said, are good regulations, but you actually have to look into that as a lawmaker and do maybe a cost-benefit analysis. Is this effective at doing what we want it to do? Or examine the pros and cons, right? Now, to answer the trucker's question, why didn't he get rid of the Obama regulations for us, but why did he get rid of the ones for corporate America? Well, it's because he never cared to do it. I mean, if you thought he was going to do that, no. He's not going to look into regulations. He's a one-pager kind of guy. He barely reads, and all he does during his executive time is watch Fox News while jamming cheeseburgers into his mouth hole. That's it. He does not read up on what could actually help you, regular people. He barely even works. All he does is basically go out there and campaign. I mean, what has he been doing? All the rallies. I mean, he was doing rallies pretty much after he was elected. Still out there doing rallies, talking to people. That's the only part of the job that Trump does, because it's the only part that he actually enjoys. He lets everybody else do the actual work so long as it helps him, right? And he demands that the people that work with him either make him look good or, come up with policy that benefits him personally and most likely financially. And that's what it is. And look, if you voted for him and you're not rich, well, guess what? You just got scammed. Plain and simple. And look, you shouldn't feel bad about that. I mean, you shouldn't feel embarrassed. He's a con man. That's what he does. That's who he is. And he has run cons and scams for decades because he could never make money the legitimate way. Remember, this guy owned casinos, and he still managed to crash a casino, bankrupt a casino. The house always wins. And yet somehow, derp, he's too stupid to actually make a casino run. I mean, the only time the way he runs a casino is right into the ground. He went bankrupt 6 times. He has no idea what he's doing. But he does know how to scam people because he knows how to talk. Not like incoherent full sentences, but somehow he knows how to reach certain people with the words that he uses in the way that he talks. And I'm not sure how, but there are some people that look at that and say, yes, that guy understands. And apparently some of these truckers got that message. But as usual, they got scammed. And of course, now, the good thing about this, though, this entire situation, this video specifically, is there are people that are continuing to wake up. They're realizing, yes, we got scammed, we got screwed over. The Republicans are not on our side. Donald Trump's only legislative achievement, and I say that, air quotes and all, was tax cuts for the rich. You're not going to win an election on that. especially when regular people are feeling the squeeze and they're not necessarily in favor of rich people getting more money. So he's going to have a real tough time trying to sell that to the truckers and to anyone else who is not wealthy and who voted for him. He's in a world of trouble come this next election, and I hope he realizes it. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.